So in British pound, 3-month forward rate, 3 months from now is going to be 5.52, which is above both the current 3-month rate and 6-month rate. For example, let's do 6 and 2. Come on. What's going on here? Oh. Let's do the 6 and 12 month. So in this case, this rate refers to a 6-month rate that starts 6 months from now. As you can see, it is below both current 6-month rate and the 12-month rate. This basically says market is betting on the 6-month rate to go down quite a bit in England. Whether or not that will happen, we shall see. But that's how market is betting. Because if that's not the forward rate, then there's going to be arbitrage to be made. If, let's say that number is 5, okay? The forward rate was 5% instead of 4.55. Doing the forward would have cost $25,000 in interest. But doing it through money market, which means borrowing for 12 months but lending it for the first 6 months, would cost you $22,771. That means people would be willing to lend in the forward, borrow in the money market, and make risk-free money. We obviously don't let that happen. I should put these in my Abacus template. So forwards are rather useful if you know you're going to need the money 6 months from now, and you're going to need it for only 6 months, but you don't want to take the risk that interest rates are going to be high. You can actually fix it in the forward rate market. Or you know that you're going to have money to lend 6 months from now. You don't want to take the risk. You want to fix the rate at which you're going to lend. Just use the forward market. We can also use these to hedge against interest rate risk. Suppose you borrowed money on the Euro credit market. Almost always the loans in the Euro credit markets are floating rate, which means interest rates are variable. So if you borrowed, again, we don't have LIBOR anymore, but let's say we did. If you borrowed at LIBOR plus 2% and LIBOR increases by 1%, your interest cost is going to go up by 1%. So then you can basically hedge that by using the forward contracts. We'll have more on these later on, especially using the swaps, but you can read that part yourself. Okay, as part of the something called Euro notes, these are short-term notes. When we say note, it's similar to a bond. We technically call anything that has a maturity of longer than 10 years a bond. Anywhere between 1 to 10 year a note. These are notes underwritten by a syndicate of international banks or commercial banks, and they are typically zero coupon kind of bonds. So they're sold at a discount and pay back the full face value at maturity. These are short-term notes. The so-called commercial paper, they are similar to notes, but they're even typically even much shorter maturity. And many companies issue commercial notes, commercial papers to finance short-term needs such as inventory, such as accounts receivable. And these are not, the Euro commercial paper market is not subject to US regulations. Hence, the kind of companies that accesses that market tends to be a little bit lower quality in terms of credit. Hence, the yields are typically higher. All right, let's talk about, this contract does not exist anymore, unfortunately, but we're going to talk about a contract that actually replaces that, because Euro-dollar futures contract was based on the LIBOR. LIBOR is no more, starting this summer. Now, as a reference rate, there is Bloomberg for 3 months, Bloomberg short-term bank yield index. Currently is 559. This is essentially an index constructed by Bloomberg by using the rates at which banks are willing to lend for 3 months. The banks are willing to borrow at 3 months. That's kind of a reference index. Let me see if they have started the futures contract on this. There's going to be one soon. It's called Bloomberg. Come on. BSBY. BSB, I'm going to call it. Let me see if they started trading it. Apparently not. There's not much trade going on. Probably by the time I teach this class next year, it's going to be traded. In the meantime, we can look at Treasury bill futures. There isn't too much volume in these either, but at least the numbers are here. There is an active contract, but it's somewhat difficult to secured overnight financing rate futures. For now, I'm going to use this one. but the actual arithmetic is a little bit different from straight euro-dollar futures. I'm not going to worry too much about that. The way these futures contracts work, on short-term interest rates, the price is equal 100 minus reference rate. So if you look at, for example, the December contract, for which we get a lot of volume, the number is 94.52, okay? Actually, no, September contract, I'm sorry. 94.64. So if price equals 94.64, then reference rate is 100 minus 94.64, 536. So that's the reference 3-month rate. For September, you can, again, with SOFR features, calculation is somewhat roundabout. That means 3-month rate right now is about 536. For December contract,